Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're gonna talk about my week of trading. We're gonna talk about the 3 trades that I took that led to a 2.86% gain on my account. Now, I left a lot of money out there on one of these trades in particular, so I wanna dive deep on that to talk about what I could do better. That way it hopefully will help you make better trading decisions going forward. So if you're new to the channel, new to the feed, I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you watching with us if you have been. All 20 videos so far throughout December. We've been doing this daily video Forex miss thing, vlog miss, whatever you want to call it. But I appreciate you guys giving me and Riley the attention. We've been working really hard to bring you not, fun and entertaining stuff, not just fun and entertaining stuff, but also some value and some real content, education, some real stats, facts, whatever you want to call it, that you can then take and put into your daily trading. The whole purpose of all these videos that I make for you guys is just that one of you, hopefully watching, can take something out of this video and apply it into your trading to help make you a better trader going forward. So today, it's Friday. I figured the best way to end our week is talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly of what I did this week. And that way you can take that and hopefully, like I said, make better trading decisions going forward. The big talking point, I should say, this week has been Trump's impeachment. And we're gonna have a video tomorrow that's gonna discuss how the impeachment impacts the Forex market, the stock market, and what we can look at going forward into that Senate vote coming up in the beginning of January. So I wanna prep everybody in tomorrow's video for what's coming with the impeachment. But today, we're gonna focus just on the technical charts. So if you're new, do me a favor, hit the red subscribe button so you don't miss any of the future videos. I've still got 4 more videos after this one to give you all the way up to Christmas morning. So make sure you're subscribed, that way you don't miss anything. Now, today, first, let's talk about EurGbp. You see the P&L here. I was in at 83.28, out at 83.30. This was a 2-pip win to start the week on Monday the 16th. So if we pull up EurGbp, we're gonna come back to GBP USD. This was the price that I was looking to buy it off of, 83.28, 83.30. Again, I'll pull the P&L up right here, 83.28, you see right there, 83.28 is where I have this marked. I liked the break of the 50 EMA as one indicator to me that we might be changing bias. Now, I also like the fact that from the UK election last week, we started to create divergence on the bottom. Now, for those of you that don't know what divergence is, no, I don't just enter off divergence. I use it to help me identify good or bad trade setups. The way you draw divergence is you use an indicator like I have here, this green line on my TDI at the bottom. This is an RSI. So as the RSI is rising and price action is falling, that creates divergence. This is Thursday into Friday of last week. You see we bounce from the 50 to the 200. We don't make it all the way to the 800 on Friday, but then coming into the week, because we couldn't get back down to this same level, the same low here of 82.80, 82.82, right? We didn't get back down to there during the Asian session into the crossover. And we built divergence on the bottom, telling me that we might see rise. That got me interested to go to the higher time frames to see, is this long biased or short biased? So if we go to the higher time frame, from that entry point, as you can see, election news bottoms us out Thursday, Friday, little bounce. Monday, we start the week off that low. But generally, you would look at this as in a downtrend overall. So definitely counter trend if you're trying to buy it there. Here, same thing. It is oversold the previous week, but on the 4-hour, again, mainly in a downtrend. And then on the daily, same thing. The last couple of days, holding the 8 and the 21 EMA, clearly showing in a downtrend. So being a counter trend idea, trying to buy it off the bottom here, I didn't love it as far as like, hey, let me call in the VIP chat, let me get everybody in this trade, this is gonna be a huge mover all week. I didn't think that that had this potential, even though as you can see, that's what it ends up doing. From the entry price that I had, it rose all week. Even today, you would be well into profit, over 225, 226 pips. Crazy move, right? But the point of this trade that I want to show you and why I exited for only 2 pips was because I didn't like the idea of starting my week with a counter trend trade. I talked about this a little bit yesterday, but for those of you that missed the video, we define these trades as D2. This is divergence, but it's counter trend. D1 is divergence in trend. So with it being a counter trend trade, with it being really early, it was at 2:30 in the morning. I woke up really early Monday because I was excited to be back from the trip from Punta Cana, and I really wanted to get to the charts. So being early, being counter trend, and having all the higher time frames telling me that it's also counter trend, trying to buy it off the bottom in a downtrend, I didn't love the trade. So I got in, and then within 15 minutes, I pulled the trade. Again, 2 reasons being I didn't want to start my week on a counter trend loser because we know these trades are less probable because they're counter trend, and I didn't call the trade to our VIP chat. If you're, following me on Instagram, following me anywhere, you know I have my VIP group on Telegram that I trade with every single day. I didn't call this trade to them because I wasn't super confident in it, but I took the trade anyway. So I was lacking that accountability that I like to have in my trading with my with members of our team, with traders on our team. So I pulled the trade. I took the 2 pip winner, and I could have made a ton of money on this trade. So the 2 pips paid me less than, I think it was like 0.2%, less than that. Very, very small. Had I held this could have been a 3, 4, maybe even a 5% winner, just depending on how much of the position I held. Normally, you're looking for these counter trend trades to go to the 800 EMA, like it does right here in the next day's Asian session. However, this continued to rise, and that's why I say I don't know if I would have been in this for the whole thing. I don't think I ever would have. I would have been mostly out of the trade when it touched the 800. But there's no reason you can't take the entry, hold it, knowing that it's going to be a counter trend trade, and this is what our system calls for, what I should have done. Hold it, be confident in it, and once it moves into profit over 2R, lock the stop at break even and leave it alone. So you could have put the stop in in profit at break even right here. Let's just say you moved it to here, a couple pips above your entry price. You're into 28, stops up at 32. So the worst is you get stopped for a 4 pip winner. And all you have to do is shut up and sit there, and this would have went up for you all week. So a powerful move on EurGbp. A lot of money I left out on the table, but I don't look at it as a miss. I acted it appropriately to take the trade without calling it mainly, right? And being a counter trend trade. So I should have called the trade, said, look, it's counter trend, we need to give it time, and maybe we can make some money. And then I would have been more confident to say, yeah, this is a good trade we want to be in. And if I hadn't handled that right, it would have been a miss. But here, because I still followed rules, I still was, trying to keep myself accountable, I don't look at this huge move as a miss. I look at it as I didn't follow my rules properly on entry, so I had to follow my rules properly to get out of the trade and just find the next good one. And that mentality led me to find the next good trade. So we'll talk about that here. That's GBP USD. This was the same day. Again, early in the morning, right? Pull up the P&L here. Same day, you can see 12.16, 12.16. I had 2 entries on GU, 133.45 and 133.48. I have it marked right here at 133.45.9, almost 45, or excuse me, almost 46. So I was buying it here off the 200 EMA. Now, as you can see, it didn't make it really anywhere past the 50 EMA. After breaking the 50 overnight, coming to the 200, I still had my long bias from the previous day's move, right? From the higher time frames as well. So I was like, listen, this is a significant level. I could buy it off here. The first place I know that it might slow down is the EMA in front of it, which is the 50, the blue line here. So if we take it to the 1 minute, you're gonna see right here, the divergence on the bottom that you guys know I would trade off of. This would be considered our D1 signal. So I like the divergence on the bottom there, falling price action, rising RSI. I like the break of the 50, change in bias, stop at the low. But what got me out of the trade more than anything else was the divergence that then formed on top. You can trade divergence to divergence. In fact, I think it's a great way to trade the market almost as if it was a wave. So you're in long in the direction of the overall uptrend, right, on the higher time frames. And then once it becomes divergent on the lowest time frame possible, here on the 1 minute, that's the first signal to you that it might be changing. Not saying it's going to full reverse, not saying it's not going to chop sideways. I'm saying it's going to change its direction. In this case, it's going to change from the rise, from the uptrend, into either chop or into drop. So here, it was a great exit. Being out there at the 50 EMA, you can see all week from there, it fell. So we traded it really, really well. Taking it long based on what the movement had done the previous day, what the movement had done the previous week, what the higher time frames were telling us, but then reading that shorter time frame to say, look, take the trade, be grateful for that, move on to the next one. As you can see, out at 63, out at 67, and then out at 62. So a nice 20 pip, 17 pip, 15 pip win right here on GBP USD. So that was a great trade. I think I traded that one way better the same day as I traded EurGbp. So I dropped the EurGbp because I didn't do it well, got my focus on GU, called the GU trade, and everybody made money with me on this one. And now last, the third trade of the week, this was a 1.06% gain. This was a really clean breakout, EurCad. TDI, clearly long biased, right? EMA is coming into an uptrend. I love the fact that we held, let me show you, this level right here to start the day. Look how we were pushing right through. Broke, retest it with 2 pins to the bottom of that zone, break for a new high of day. The fact that that candle that I entered on is off the 21 EMA, holding the 21 EMA, that made me really confident to say, I know where my stop should be, 10 pips away. I know I'm trying to get 2R. This went 26. And as you can see, I pulled a nice trade out of it. 23, 24, took a little bit off at 12, a little bit off at 10 because that's 1R. And then I let the rest of it go to over 2R. So really good trading here, again on EurCad. And that's why, yes, the EurGbp was a lot of money left on the table, but I was able to analyze, see what I needed to do better going forward, be accountable, trade in trend, find good breakouts. Both of the 2 winners that paid really well, GU and EurCad, were in trend. They're D1 and A1 breakouts. GU was D1, EurCad was A1. Those are our entry signals. We put names to them because I'm like one of the only people, it seems like, on the internet or in the world that has entry systems, meaning this is, if this happens, I'm going to enter, and then I'm going to put my take profit, put my stop loss, and leave it alone. If the EMAs hold here, and the TDI sets up here, and there's space on ADR, if all those things come to play, then I act. So here, following those rules, you can see it's win, it's win, it's win. And then the rest of the week, I haven't traded. There's been nothing great. Going into Christmas, I was not giving back a 3% week right before Christmas. This is my Christmas gift. It's a great week for me. Going into 2020, this is exactly where I want my focus to be. So now after reviewing the 3 trades, I hope you found some value in it. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, if there's anything that I didn't make super clear on these 3 trade setups. If you want more of a weekly recap of everything, just go back and watch yesterday's live stream. I tried a YouTube live yesterday, and I think it came out pretty good. Check that out, and there's going to be more SARs like EU and dollar index stuff in there if you need a big picture of the week. I just wanted today's video to focus on my trading and what I want you guys to take out of it going forward. Number 1, it's okay to leave money on the table. Following your rules is way more important. Look how unemotionally I can show you that EurGbp trade and show you that I don't care about the 200 pip move that I could have had. There's going to be plenty more of those because I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be trading forever. So I don't worry about one potential move. I'm more worried about following my rules, sticking to the discipline that got me into this position. And that's what I want to drive home to you guys. You need exact entry and exit rules. If this happens, I take my entry, I put my stop loss here, take profit here. Same pattern every time. Boom, that's your A1 system or whatever you name it. Then now you develop as time goes on into more systems, more tools on your tool belt. Now we're coming out next month with the D1 and D2 course. That's going to be packaged with our Tampa seminar ticket where we're going to talk about the next thing that I'm possibly making a course of in 2021. So I'm always ahead. I'm always trying to test things and add more systems to my tool belt. I don't just add trades. I don't know why people say that. You don't add trades to your tool belt. You add systems that have easy and repeatable processes within that so you can wake up every day and execute on it. Such a big believer in that. I'm going to scream it until my head comes off, scream it till I have gray hair, which will probably be sooner than most, but that's okay. Again, systems over everything. That's the biggest takeaway from this. Don't worry about missing moves. There's going to be plenty of moves. Again, I'll call that EurGbp at the bottom every time it presents because I know what system that is. That's our D2. I know how to identify it. I'll find it on any pair. So I hope you guys can take from this video, number 1, FOMO is not a real thing. Don't worry about missed moves. That's focusing on the lack of abundance. You need to be focused on the insane amount of money that is potentially out there for you to make, not what did you miss. I don't care about that shit. I want to be focused, and I care more about how are you going to act better because of that miss. Not really a miss, but because of that move going forward. How are you going to act better going forward? So take that from this, and also take that if you can put that trade aside, put a bad trade aside like I did on EurGbp, you can still finish the week really, really strong. Still following your rules really well. You can still come in and crush it and make 3% on basically 2 trades. So I hope you found some value. I hope it helps you make better trading decisions going forward. If there's anything in particular you need from me before we get to the new year, please drop a comment down below. I'm going to be making, like I said, tomorrow's video about Trump, the impeachment, and how we need to be focused on that Senate vote coming up in January. So stay tuned for tomorrow if you want to learn more about how his impeachment is impacting the Forex market and the stock market and the economy here in the United States as a whole. I appreciate the time, everybody, always so much. Have a good Christmas if you're getting close to Christmas where you live and you're going to be off the computer. Enjoy it with your family. Take some time. That way you come into 2020 refreshed, focused, and ready to fucking kill it. So have a great rest of your day. I'll see you tomorrow. We're going to talk Trump.